Today, I am talking about 7 powerful tips to refine your vision and achieve success. I want to talk to you about your vision, your dreams, your goals, and how you go about them, and how you can help incubate those visions, those dreams to achieve success and to move on the path of exceeding your goals. So, let's talk about these things today. Number one, you were given a vision in life. Each one of us was at least given one thing in life that we can do or that we can dream of doing in our lives, whether that is to be a jewelry maker. Maybe you want to fly an airplane. Maybe your dream is to open a business, write a book, whatever it is. We all have a certain dream that God has placed in us. Some of us have more dreams than just one. So I want to talk to you about helping those dreams to grow inside of you. Now, what do I mean by vision? Your vision can be your dreams, it can be the goals you have for your life, it can even be a dream life that you have planned for yourself. What would you be doing if you could have the greatest joy in your life? What would you be doing? Would you be working as a CEO of a company? Would you be your own boss? Would you have freedom to spend time with your family? Think really hard and really long about what you would be doing in your life if you had the opportunities to live out the dreams and the visions that you've had for your life. Now, I want to give you the first tip. The first tip is, what does vision look like to you? What does that vision look like? The second tip is, have you written it down? Have you written down the vision, and have you actually made steps to follow this vision to make sure that you achieve it? Sometimes writing it down is the first step to actually executing on the dreams and the visions that we have. The Bible says in Psalms chapter 37, verse 4, take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. That means when we take delight in the Lord, his goodness, and who he is, he can give you the desires of your heart. And what I have learned so many times, and the revelation that God has given me, is sometimes those desires in your heart, those dreams that you have when you're asleep, are actually a desire that God has developed inside of you for you to one day achieve. Sometimes God will give you glimpses of things to achieve them. To me, I've had dreams of things that I have written down. I've had ideas that God has given me and I've written them down. So this is for the dreamer and the builder and the visionary in you, for those who have dreams and visions and an idea to build something great. This video is for you. So I want you to think about your dream that God has planted on the inside of you. And does that dream align with you helping people, which is God's creation, or does the dream align with you giving God glory? Those are usually the things that God will place inside of you. Remember that in the Bible, Joseph had a dream. He had a dream that his brothers would bow down to him. That was his dream. But the dream wasn't about his brothers bowing down to him. The dream was about one day Joseph would be in power. He would be the second command in Egypt in order to help save his brothers from a famine. And sometimes the dreams that God has planted into you are for his glory, and they are to help other people. So think about that dream today, what that dream looks like in you, and think about how you can execute that dream. Tip number 4 is to protect your vision. Now, this is for somebody who needs to know how to sometimes be quiet. Sometimes we can be blabbermouths and we can talk too much, or maybe we can just trust the wrong people with our dreams and our visions. And I want to talk to you about that. Protect your vision. Your vision is very important. And there are many people, when you look at documentaries of success, everybody wasn't rooting for these people. People who become successful, people who achieve their visions, their goals, their dreams, usually have a lot of naysayers. They usually have a lot of adversity that they go through. So I want you to know, when you see that, that means that you are on the right path. Now, you won't always have people rooting for your success. So, this is why it's very important to protect your dream. Many of us may have doubters or unsupportive people around us, and those are not the people you want to share your dreams, your goals, your visions with. You want to share those things with people who understand. You want to share those things with other people who dream and people who are very supportive of you. Let's think about an egg. An egg needs many things to hatch. And one of the things the egg needs is warmth. So, how can you give warmth to your dream? How can you keep your dream warm in your spirit so it can stay alive? I want you to think of things like a dream board. I want you to think of things like writing goals and achieving those small goals, or even looking over your goals on a daily or weekly basis so you can see, dream, and believe that those things can happen in your life. Your vision may seem big for you, and that's okay. A lot of us have big visions. Some of us just have smaller visions. It doesn't matter how big or small it is. If it's small, that's great. That means that you can achieve it easier. If it's a big vision, that's still great because that means that whatever God has planted inside of you, He can bring people into your life to help deliver the vision and the dream. He can bring in what they call destiny helpers to help you achieve that big goal, that big vision for your life. So it doesn't matter if it is small or big. I want you to get in your mind ways that you can stay focused on your vision and your goal, and you can keep achieving it. But you got to keep it warm. You got to keep believing it. You got to keep seeing it to know that it's something you can actually accomplish, because in your mind is where everything starts. So you have to keep that dream, that idea fresh into your mind so that you know it is achievable at all costs. Let's talk about adversity in your vision. Anytime you set out to do something great in life, there is going to be opposition. I want you to meet that opposition head on. And how you do that is by staying consistent. And this is why it's important to review the goals and the dreams that you have on a daily, weekly, monthly basis so that you can stay consistent and stay devoted to the goal at hand. Things are going to come up. I have a family. I know how it looks when things come up. Sometimes I want to make a video, or I want to do something for my businesses, and I have a sick child, or maybe my job is really busy that week, or maybe I don't have the time to take care of my household and do the things that I want to do. But what I do is try to remain consistent, which means even if I have a bad day, even if I have an off day, I am back at it the next day, or I find time to schedule things ahead of time so that I can plan ahead to make sure that I am on the job for my own dreams, my own visions, my own goals. See, I want to support my own goals, my own visions, my own dreams before I keep supporting a place that is not supporting me back. And you can look at it how you may want, but for some people that may be a job, for some people that may be certain relationships, but sometimes in your life, if you are doing stuff for people or a company and you are not reciprocating the most back, you may have to make changes in your life. And so that's why these dreams, these visions, these goals are very important, because sometimes God is not putting you here to just work at a corporation. Sometimes He's not putting you here to just support everybody while your dreams go down the sink or the toilet. God has planted special things in each and every one of us. And if we all found a way to operate in it, we would have a better society. We would have needs met better. But we have to start operating in the gifts that God has given us, in the dreams and visions that He's given us, because He's given it to us for a reason, for the life that we were to live here on earth. So it's very important that you stay consistent to the goals that God has given you, the visions God has given you, because it is there for a reason. And often you'll find out is when you become successful at something, you're usually helping somebody. A lot of uh, a lot of businesses don't work today if you're not adding value to people's life. And it's very important to make sure you're adding value to people's life, but also you'll find out when God gives you a task or a dream, you are saving souls in the process. You are helping people in the process. So God doesn't lead you on a empty task or an empty job. These things are for a reason. So I want you to think about that when you think about consistency and showing up. For me, I make videos. Sometimes if I don't make those videos, somebody might not hear a word that they need to hear for the day. If I don't make videos or do my business right, somebody is missing out on my opportunity to bless them. It is important to be consistent because consistency reaps benefits over time. It's just like if you're going to farm or if you're going to save money in a bank account that has interest. Over time, you will harvest something. So always be consistent. This will help you see the progress to reaching your goals in life. And that is okay. I also want you to partner with God. And this is very important. The reason I'm going to tell you to partner with God is because I know what it's like for God to give you a dream, a vision, or a goal, and you know the end result, but you don't know how you're going to get there. And that's how God leads us. God will literally show us an end result. He'll show you being a business owner, but He won't show you the steps that it took to get to the successful level. And I want you to know that those things are good, but this is why you need to partner with God. When you follow God, you're sometimes following Him, and it feels like you're in a dark room or it feels like you've been blinded because God is going to give you the steps sometimes, step by step. And, or He'll show you the end, but He won't show you the middle. And I think it was Miles Monroe who said this. He said that God will show you the end of a result or your destiny, but He'll never show you the middle, because if He shows you the middle, you will say, no way, I'm not doing that, because it will require so much out of you. And that's why sometimes God will show us the end result, but He won't show you the middle. So really another reason I'm making this video is to help people who are in the middle, because you may not know how God is going to do it, but He has ways and steps to get you there. And in that meantime, while you're using your faith to believe in what God has told you, you also have to be consistent and put in work yourself, because faith without works is dead. We have to have work behind our faith to show that we believe in what God is saying to us. So I want you to think about that when you are doing the work of trying to reach your goals, your vision, and you need to partner with God so God can not only show you the way, but He can also help you alleviate the stress that comes from the waiting. He can help you. The Bible tells us to cast our cares on God, which means if you're frustrated, He wants to know. If you're sad about something, He wants to know. And when you have that relationship to hear from God, then He can give you direct details to help you. All of a sudden, now lately everybody's saying that, oh, Jesus is my CEO, Jesus is my business coach, those kind of things. God can be those things for you. He can tell you how to execute the things that you need to execute to see the success. So, tip number 6 was consistency in the waiting. And that's what I wanted you to know. Tip number 7 is about how your vision can be achieved. I encourage you to go after your dreams, to try to achieve your vision at all costs. If God tells you that this is what you're supposed to be doing, go ahead and get it done. I want you to know that it can be done. It is achievable. And you don't have to worry about what may happen if you cannot achieve these goals. Sometimes we may have one talent, or we may have multiple talents that God can help us with or help us to use for our gifts. But whether you have one talent or multiple talents, I want you to lean on God to let Him reveal what you're good at, what you're capable of, and let Him show you those dreams that He has put as a desire into your heart. Often we need to know which way to go to eliminate detours. Sometimes, and this is why I said, think about if what you're doing glorifies God or help other people, because you can say that you want to, be something that God isn't calling you to be. And then later on, if you have to switch gears or change gears, you'll actually feel like those years were a waste. But honestly, God never wastes anything. But think about what you're going to do ahead of time. I can't tell you how many times I've done something, and instead of me asking God, I just went and did it. And then later on, for God to turn around and tell me, hey, don't do that. And so sometimes we need to speak with God first to achieve and streamline the goals and the way and the path that He has for us, so that we can make sure we're on the right path and we're doing it right. So we can get to our finish line easier. We can get to our goals and our visions easier and faster when we let God communicate with us and help teach us how to go about doing these things. I want you to know that the only one who can stop you from achieving greatness is you. Don't doubt, but walk boldly into the life God has for you. If you enjoyed this video, if I gave you knowledge, if I helped you think about your dreams, your visions, and how you can protect it and how you can move forward to be successful in executing those things, please like this video, save it, share it, and tell a friend that has a dream, because this is important information. I don't think people are talking about this, but it's very important, because I know for myself, I've shared my dreams with people who may have doubted me. I've shared my dreams with people who didn't believe in me. And I've even started businesses and waited for success and waited for people who should have supported me to support me, and they didn't. So I want you to know, just because you don't see it now doesn't mean that it can't happen later. The Bible tells us to not despise small beginnings. So just because you have a small beginning does not mean that God cannot fuel you to the success that you need to have. I hope this helps bless somebody. Have a great day.